What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 25 of the Improv Gaming Gamescast. As always, I'm joined with the best guys I know. To my right, he only has the best ponytail in the business,
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas.
How's it going tonight, everybody?
And to my left, he needs no introduction. You just have to look at his right arm. He is the biggest Zelda fan in the world. Yes, see, I used the right arm. Mr. Jeremy Bird.
What's up, everybody? Improv Gaming coming at you once again.
And I'm Pete, and it wouldn't be an episode without me wondering about something. So what did you do on your 25th birthday, in honor of 25 episodes?
On my 25th birthday.
Yes, we are that old.
I went to Six Flags, I think. Yeah, I went to Six Flags.
That's it?
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
go on our, you just
I went
went
to
in
Six
front of the front door and
Yeah.
just stood
Yeah.
and been like,
I went to Six Flags and I just looked at the place and I was like, oh, so that's it.
Great
and then I
birthday.
got in my car and I left.
Great birthday. What about for you?
Probably intoxicated because I don't remember that far back.
Oh, it
That's-
It is a little bit of a time for you.
Yeah. Don't call me old ever again.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
You
right.
weren't old. Well, Nick thought for the longest time he was the oldest one. Then he got that notion that, oh shit, I'm the youngest one out of the group. And he felt like a boob. For me,
If I felt like a boob, Pete would never stop squeezing me.
Hey.
Hey.
I was in Atlantic City because my ex was celebrating her 21st.
Fun.
So I had to go down, and I was at the pool in Harrah's, and I was dead tired. Not even drunk, dead tired. And I kept falling asleep, and they escorted me out. And I said, I'm perfectly fine. They're like, sir? So I was like, let me show you something. I start to walk toe-to-toe in a straight line, do the alphabet backwards, perfectly. And he goes, well, since we kicked you out, we can't let you back in. I was like, I'm fucking tired. I had work at 5 a.m. Granted, my ex was not very happy when she found me outside the club, just chilling. Very fun. If you didn't know, this is the Improv Gaming Gamescast here on youtube.com/improvgaming, where we bring you episodes every week. We break it up by 3 topics. We break it up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have Let's Plays on Tuesday. Twitch is on Thursday. It is the 25th episode. But before we tell you what it's all about, we have that Mr. One-Up News himself, Jeremy Bird.
How we doing again, guys? Stop with the hats, please.
Just stop.
You wouldn't let me put on the hats.
Yeah, I'll kill you.
I had some great hats for you, ladies and gentlemen.
No, they weren't great.
I loved your faces. Could you just see Nick going, no. Then I put on another one. And that was your Rangers, by the way.
I saw it, that's why it's not on the ground. I think I'm stupid. Anyway, this week we have coming up... No.
I want to show them.
No. Anyway, we have the Fall Anthology coming out for the PC this week. NBA 2K16 for Xbox 360, PS4, and PS3. Persona 4 Dancing All Night for the Vita. Samurai Warriors 4 2 for PS4, PS3, Vita, and PC.
Samurai Warriors 4-2.
42?
4-2.
Are you sure it's not 42 with all the
Is that
Dynasty
like- is that
Warriors
like-
and everything?
Is that like Final Fantasy X-2?
Probably.
The bastard child.
Secret Poncho for PC. Sword Coast Legends for PC.
No, right.
And something we'll all be excited for, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
That's gonna be fun.
Love it.
I'm not that excited for it.
Shut up.
You're on the
Liar.
podcast.
I'm out.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're done.
Is that everything?
That's a short week, so.
We're looking for a new host because Pete's excited for Tony Hawk.
So, in honor of 25th episodes of the Great Improv Gaming Gamescast, we are going to be doing our top 5 favorite games from last gen, which is PlayStation 3, Wii, and Xbox 360. We are going to begin with Sony themselves, the PS3.
I actually realized I do have a little bit of one-up news. It just hit me now.
What?
Number 1, Nintendo has a new president announced.
Oh, yes.
1-year contract. He wants to restructure the company. With that, I'm really happy for. He was Reggie's boss before Reggie took over for Nintendo of America. What I'm excited for is Smash Brothers is going to get Mario Maker levels. and I don't remember what was the third one. We'll just go with those two for now. One Up news is over. Let's go to PS3.
2 weeks later, you know who the president is. We are recording this on NHL Day. Where?
Way to break the fourth wall.
They know that we record way early.
But expect a big announcement from the Improv Gaming team about NHL at the end of this episode.
What is wrong with you?
I never know what's wrong with him.
Never. But first, PlayStation 3, top 5. We're going to begin with... Nobody wants to take charge?
I'll go first. Okay.
Starting from number 5.
Number 5.
Do we want to each say our number 5 and do it that way?
Yeah, why not?
That's fine.
Let's do it that
I like
way.
it that way. We're
Let's
not
do it that
late.
way.
Number 5, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Just waited so long to get the third Marvel vs. Capcom game. The regular version was good. The Ultra version was even amazing. And I've seen multiple people play it at EVO. It's probably the big fun tournament that him and I watch, Pete and I watch. And just how you get to play every character from like Street Fighter, all the different Marvel characters. You get everybody from like
Deadpool.
Yeah, you get Deadpool, Wolverine, Resident Evil. You get Mega Man. You get Darkstalker characters.
You got Dante and Virgil
from Devil May Cry. Yeah, just a great cast of characters just duking it out.
My number 5, going in line with what Jeremy was talking about, was actually the Deadpool game.
Nice.
That was a really good game. I really enjoyed how they were able to really bring that character to the game. That was pretty much my favorite part of the game itself. Was the way that they were able to bring the character to the game. But besides that, all the powers that he has. I mean, they gave him all his abilities. So it wasn't like a toned down Deadpool. It was an actual Deadpool that you got to play as. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was done well. It's a standard hack and slasher, but
those are those fun games.
Yeah, it was a standard hack and slasher, but it had its quirks and it was good. Nice. What's your top 5? My name is Pete Anderson.
Let me tell you my honorable mentions.
I just have one that was on the cusp of number 5. I'm not going to say it's a runner-up. I'm not going to say it's an honorable mention.
Just didn't make the cut.
It just didn't make the cut.
So it's an honorable mention.
I'm not saying that because we're not allowed to do honorable mentions.
Well, you're mentioning it to give it honor.
I could say disgust. Red Dead Redemption is my mention.
That was actually a close one in mine, but just...
It was just a great story, I loved the character. The ending was fantastic.
The ending is what kills me for that game. Like, in a good way. It was
it was just very, here's GTA in a Western world with horses and just was one of the first big GTA type games I played that I just did everything. But number 5, hands down, has to be Modern Warfare 2. Because, let me tell you, and if you watch the show, I've dabbled in it a couple of times. Me and my buddy do a birthday exchange every Christmas. He picks out a game he wants, I pick out a game I want, and we flop. This year, or the year that we did it, was Call of Duty. And I said, there's nothing I want. Everything I would want is I bought. I said, maybe I should take a risk on this game. I said, people talk very highly of Modern Warfare 1. Let me give Modern Warfare 2 a shot. And he goes, and even Dan, my friend, was, last week, on the last week episode, Dan, he ended up saying, I don't think you like this game. And I go, no, I heard good things, let me try it. And it was, and still is, my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Just the action, and I was just like, you're playing an action movie. The gameplay was great. I remember at the end, and you always hate on it, but when he's going like this and he has to throw the knife, I was like, this is fucking fantastic. It just built so much up for me, and it was definitely number 5 for me.
Nice.
I'm gonna hate to promote what's gonna be next for my top, but number 4, we'll start with you, sir.
All right, number 4 for me was actually GTA 5. They made leaps and bounds from GTA 4, and they were actually able to fill the world with so much content that you could actually have fun with. So that takes it to my number 4 was GTA 5. And GTA 5. And I'm a GTA fan. So for me to put it down.
Did you like 4?
It was okay. It was a little quirky. I'm glad that in GTA 5, one of the things that they fixed from GTA 4 was you seemingly with no bumps at all flying out the front of your fucking window in GTA 4. Like you could just start your car and hit a fire hydrant that was 5 feet away, and Nico would fly out the fucking window. And it was terrible. I hated it. I'm glad that in GTA 5 that they were able to fix it and remedy it, so that then you didn't just fly out of your damn window, your windshield.
All right, I'll do that because then you could do 4, and then I'll do 3. I got an idea.
Okay.
Stick of Truth. It's my last cross-gen, but I just enjoyed Stick of Truth. Yeah, it was short, but it was just everything about it was... The comedy was there, and yeah, it wasn't a deep RPG mechanic, but still, I just remember riding with Kenny in that fucking unicorn all the time, and just having a blast, and the ending, and just the whole thing with Cartman. It's like, what is your name? Douchebag. Are you sure you want to be called douchebag? Just that subtle. It was just absolutely fantastic. Definitely towards the end of that cycle, because it came out at the end of the PS3, Xbox 360 cycle. Definitely something where I was just like, oh, I wish this was also for next gen. And I'm still hoping with backwards compatibility I can pick it up on 360.
Well, who cares? They're coming out with another one.
Fractured butthole.
Yeah, but still.
Fractured butthole.
Yeah, you know me. I like the great games that I love.
Fractured butthole.
Jeremy, what's your name?
What was the other great game that people have been waiting for a long time?
PlayStation All-Stars 2.
I knew he was going to say that. No. Wrong. Street Fighter 4. Yes, 2 fighting games in a row, but that game came out. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. I waited, I don't know how many years, and all of a sudden they announced it, and I'm just like, let's do this. From all the new characters they introduced to like the classic ones they have, I played that game a number of times. I've got my ass handed to me a number of times in that game. I just love how, like, I know that, Nick, you do think it's a slow game, but literally going to EVO and seeing how people can actually throw combos. Some matches were, like, under 45 seconds just because they were able to just throw those combos out. But I was just such a huge fan of the game. Lost a lot of sleep, a lot of hours, and just... As soon as I saw that trailer where you just see Ryu walk out, and you just see him tighten the headband, and it just says Street Fighter 4, I was just like, I must buy this game.
Surprisingly, no Tekken for me. Spoiler alert, there is no Tekken for me. It would be on a PS2, Xbox, GameCube best top 5. It would definitely be in the PlayStation 2 category, but as of right now, no Tekken for me. Now we get to the top 3, the meat and soul of games. This was a toss-up, because each and every game here, deserved what it deserved. But number 3 has to be God of War 3.
Fuck, he took my choice.
Why is that your number?
That's
3?
my number 3.
Oh,
Is it really?
Minds.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great minds.
Wow.
So I guess we'll both talk about
Okay.
it. I loved it. I thought.
So did I.
I just I just remember the end of 2 climbing up Mount Olympus, and then it's
With
like
the sword like Zeus, your son has come home.
And it's just like, I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to go. And then it's like, to be continued, or it's like credits. And I was just like, oh. And it just made God of War 3 that much more.
I love the intro, everything you go through, and literally how you see the world just fall apart as Kratos kills each of the gods.
Yeah.
And just, what a way to end the series. But you know there's going to be a 4th one eventually.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't...
Spoilers, he gets stabbed with a sword, and he gets up, and you see a blood trail.
There's going to be a lot of spoilers. Get ready.
Still can't wait for that, but literally just... And the way he killed Zeus just did it for me.
Yeah, it was just everything. Even, I love the storytelling in that game, and with the blood sticking to Kratos, and just that whole thing, I was like...
I love the Hera scene, where he goes after her, and she's like, do you realize what you're doing? You're killing the world! And he's just like, doesn't care. Just love how they just draw you so much into that game.
Because you see just the torment that this guy went through, and it's just that full circle where you have Change of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta, Ascensions, you have these games, which I understand, but the core was those 3, and they told a story that was, at the time, amazing, like for games, because it started on the PS2, and to tell this great Greek mythology story and just it was absolutely fantastic. And
I still say like I said it before, but when you kill Zeus, just how it was done, the fist going in, the screen gets more redder and more redder and more redder. I'm like, any gore violence game out, eat your heart out for that one scene. Just Google it and watch it. Just that scene is just so brutal. It's so satisfying. You finally get your revenge on Zeus.
And just how it ends with like him, it's just absolutely definitely a must play for any.
I was just gonna say,
it's remastered on the PS4. Definitely check it out.
I just downloaded it yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I had it on the 3, and the other day I was like, I want to replay it. I'm like, all right, so $20 cheaper, I'll take it.
Yeah, and it's remastered. It doesn't look as good as
it looks a little more crisp. I like that. They didn't really add much. The graphics are a little bit more tweaked, a little more refined. They fixed a couple of bugs and combat issues, but definitely worth it.
And even like the puzzles, just the whole game, you know, from start to finish, you know.
Yeah.
We talk about game series, and that's definitely a game series that just stuck in my mind. What would be your number 3?
Infamous. The first Infamous.
Nice.
Not Second Son?
Not Second Son.
Is that on your top 100?
What? Second Son?
Yeah.
Second Son isn't even in the fucking horizon. Fucking hate Second Son. But Infamous, the first Infamous, like going into this world and seeing that this guy who was just a bicycle carrier, kind of like delivery guy, is thrown in the middle of all of this stuff, where he's carrying a package. Spoiler alert: he's carrying a package. It blows up half of his city, or pretty much his entire city, and then because this thing blows up, all of a sudden everybody is awakened with these dormant abilities, including the gangs that were in the city, and now he has to fight off the gangs while trying to find out what's going on to him and going after the guy that made him deliver the package, who ends up being him from the future, which was just, everything about it was just absolutely phenomenal. I thought that game was fantastic.
I was a big fan of it too, because at the time, you remember, Prototype came out the exact same time. I actually said, all right, I want to play Prototype because I was more a fan of it. Then I played Infamous, and I'm like, wow, I really missed out on that one. Like,
yeah. Well, when you play Infamous, right? Like I always think of Prototype, Assassin's Creed, and Infamous, right? Together.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed came out a lot earlier, but Assassin's Creed 2, where they started to really develop some new kind of mechanics, was kind of head and head with Infamous when it first came out. And when Infamous first came out, I thought that in terms of games where you're scaling buildings or you're trying to get to the top of somewhere, I thought Infamous did it so much better than the rest of them. I thought that it was much easier to scale a building. It was much easier to run across a rooftop. It was much easier to transition from rooftop to rooftops than it was in the other two.
I'll give you that.
Sucker Punch does know how to make an open world game. They really do.
My favorite thing with Infamous still has to be the fact that you have the two sides, good and evil.
Yeah.
Which
I thought that was a nice dynamic. I also thought what was cool was the power lines. Whenever you were whenever you were traveling across the rooftops, if a section had power, you would zip line across it basically, but kind of like skating on electricity. Yeah. But if it didn't have power, you would like tippy toe across it.
I remember that. And I'm like,
I thought the best thing though was if you were fighting the conduits around the train tracks, I would just skip back and forth and just fire off bolts because you could recharge after.
Yeah.
I was like, the game was just phenomenal. I thought everything about the game was just phenomenally well done.
Nice.
Man, I can't wait to see his number 1. Your number 2 though.
He may hate me for this one. Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, I forgot about that shit. Oh. I'm just gonna hate you.
No!
You bastard.
No, I'm thinking, but I wrote it down and I'm just like, oh crap. I didn't think about this before we started, but...
Oh man, what a great
I'll make you a deal. I'll touch on the surface and I'll let you...
Well, it's not my number 2.
Oh, I know what it is then. I was gonna say when he gets to whatever number it is, then you can just finish it up.
All right. So Jeremy will give you the number 2 perspective, and I'll give you the other number perspective.
Yeah, the shitty perspective. Basically, after 3, you finally get to see how Solid Snake, like his final requiem, we'll say, just how it ends, everything that goes on. You actually get to the main thing it did for me was the fact that you actually got to drive Rex and Battle Ray.
Yeah.
That I know everybody's like, what about the ending scene? Yes, the ending scene's really good, but just the fact that you get to drive that thing still gives me goosebumps to this day. Just having to drive that thing you blew up like all those games ago.
I do. Oh, I just remember that ending fight where you. Yeah, I know you mentioned, but that ending fight.
Yeah.
Where it goes through all the different games and all the music, and it's just that music and
Yep.
I still watch it to this day just because I'm like, that gives me just so many memories where you just see them punch at the same time, you know, kick at the same time, and it's just that like beautifully done scene. Oh, that's definitely well done. I didn't even
Thank
think
you.
of it here for. Wow. Now the hatred comes.
Yep. You want to go, Peter?
You want to do number 2, or am I doing number 2?
You could do it number 2.
All right, my number 2 is Little Big Planet.
Oh, I knew I forgot
I knew
something.
surprising.
Mine is Little Big Planet. I thought Little Big Planet. I'm a creative guy. Let me just get that out of the way. I like to do a lot of artwork. I like to do all that type of stuff, even music, anything creative.
Look at the channel.
in terms is just that's my forte. So Little Big Planet came out, and I played it, and it was a great platformer. Number 1, it's a phenomenal platformer where you have these 3 layers that you can use to avoid obstacles, like, you know, and you really have to keep in track with what layer you are,
Yeah.
in order to get to the next course. Thought that was well done, but the fact that everything that they built on those levels were something that was included in their package for you to build the same exact levels blew me away. I had never seen anything like that.
I was such a huge fan of that too.
That was it was just ridiculous. It was just phenomenal, you know. And I spent hours upon hours, like building cars and building tracks and playing other people's levels, and like I thought the game was just utterly phenomenal.
The only question I had was, you're gonna go with the first one, not like 2 or 3?
No, 2 I'm not gonna go with, because they added a lot of stuff, and those were nice. But it's pretty much just a continuation.
Okay.
Of, you know, it was just a more spruced up version.
The traditional.
Yeah, the traditional first impression of Little Big Planet 1 was just so phenomenal.
Yeah, I always have the scenario where you pick a series and then it's which game. That's just us.
And 3 is on the PlayStation 4, so that shouldn't be included on this list.
Sorry.
And it was broken and everything. Now here's my question to you. Molecule does the game. Medium Molecule.
Are you gonna ask me about Dreams?
Well, you're not excited about
I am
Dreams.
absolutely
None
not
of mine.
excited
Just
about
the game
Dreams.
just doesn't look
I
good.
don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a game.
Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna actually play Dreams and be like, "I've been wrong this whole time."
That's probably what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna end up being like I'm gonna play the game and be like, "Oh my god, this is the most phenomenal thing ever! This is better than Little Big Planet." But I'm telling
as it stands right now, no.
Right now, what it looks like to me is a 3D Paint, Microsoft Paint. That's what it looks like to me. So I don't know what it is. If I knew what it was, because everything, like they're saying, oh, it's a game, but it doesn't look like a game. It doesn't look like any game I've ever played, ever, at all. So I can't imagine that what they're presenting is even fully flushed out yet. I think that they had a little tech demo in the office, and they're like, "This is awesome. We need to show people this." Where you can draw on the PS4 and in 3D space in real time and create these elaborate characters. Yeah, what are we gonna call it? We'll call it Dreams because we're dreaming right now.
Yep. So let me ask you this real quick before we go to number 1. No, I'm a
Did
huge.
you guys do your 2? You didn't do your 2.
Oh,
That's not important,
Go
though.
ahead. No, go ahead then.
No. What was your question?
Yeah, what's your question?
Did you use the multiplayer aspect of it or?
Of Little Big Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was just a huge fan because I used to fuck my friends over and that. Literally, like when you just swing around and literally I would just cut their ropes and just let them fall. And like, you dick! I'm like, no, you didn't grab it. You didn't grab one. No, you dick! You cut it.
No, my favorite when we play multiplayer. I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you flick the stick,
Yep.
you can smack people.
Oh, it's just.
But you would have to get it right. Like, you would have to really get it right to get the right, like, kind of stick flick, and you could smack the shit out of your friend.
The second one, they actually made it more easy.
Yeah.
You just smack them around.
Yep, and it was just phenomenal. Just sitting there playing with my ex-girlfriend, right? And I would just and then run. It's like, how do you do that? And it's funny because while you're in the air, you can smack somebody.
Yep.
So you would run, right? Jump in the air, smack them, they would fall down,
Yep.
and you would continue your...
You give the jump. So.
Not a surprise, but my number 2 is one of my favorite series, if not my favorite series, Ratchet and Clank.
Nice.
Now it comes to the question, Crack in Time, which is by far everybody's favorite, or Tools of Destruction. I have to go with Tools of Destruction, just because it was the reason why I bought a PS3.
Nice.
And you'll see that similar why I bought all of the systems I bought for a certain game. But Ratchet and Clank, Tools of Destruction, just to see Ratchet in that new look and that new updated graphics, and after playing Deadlock and actually having a Ratchet and Clank and not just Ratchet game, and just having these characters and having Nefarious come back and the guns and the beautiful scenery and just absolutely, Quest for Booty, the DLC was good, and stuff like that, but just that initial jump that I must have played the demo they had out 1,000 times before the game came out. It was just absolutely phenomenal. You guys know I love the Ratchet and Clank series. Is it my favorite? No, Going Commando is on PS2, but by far, just a great game that I just love, and definitely check it out, guys. I'm at a loss for words. It's so good. Number 1.
Number 1. I guess since Jeremy ruined my number 1, I'll go first.
Sorry.
My number 1 is Metal Gear Solid 4. The best aspect of Metal Gear Solid 4, I thought, was being able to go through the first Metal Gear characters
Yes.
in a way that I hadn't, or in a reimagined way. So the first one you go up against is the octopus, right? The camouflage, the guy that can blend in.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the DARPA chief in the first one that died was actually codename Octopus, who became the DARPA chief and then died because the fox die killed him.
Yep.
Which is the reason why Snake looks like old Snake. He's not actually that old. He just looks like that because of fox die. Then going up against this mechanized wolf that's a sniper. So you get to go up against Sniper Wolf again, and then Psycho Man is re-envisioned. Like, it was just phenomenal to see these characters re-envisioned. The Raven, just everything was just stunning, and it was all women, which was another part of it that's very Hideo Kojima, where he's very creepily attracted to young Asian women. He just plasters like.
No, we're not calling you Kojima. Deal with it, Pete.
He just plasters across all his games all these kind of like semi-pornographic posters that you can use for anything. Even in Metal Gear Solid 5, you're seeing it where the cardboard box, you can put a poster on it to like when you stand up at the cardboard box, it actually comes up with you, and if an enemy sees that, he'll like start masturbating, or the Metal Gear Solid version of masturbating, which was ooh. That's pretty much. But like he ever since day one, certain lockers you went into, you would see that. And the I think he called them the beauties, right?
Yeah, he did.
And the beauties were great, and the way that they were able to clone the characters from the first one to give an homage to where Snake really started, like really started to gain traction, which was Metal Gear Solid. On the PS1. I thought that was phenomenal. Let alone the gameplay, the stealth techniques that you use, the arms dealer that you run to that looks like Blade, the camouflage that actively changes to the environment that you're in. I mean, the game was just phenomenal.
That was actually the reason why I got a PS4 was that game.
The game was just phenomenal.
PS3, sorry.
Every aspect of that game was phenomenal. I'm sitting there, and this is back when I used to smoke cigarettes, and I'm sitting there playing the game, and it cuts to the loading screen in between all the games, or in between all the acts of the game, and Snake is sitting there smoking a cigarette, and it's telling you smoking is bad for your health. Or it tells you, you've been playing this game for a while, you might want to go outside and get some air and some sun and not be a loser on the couch. I thought that was phenomenal. I'm sitting there laughing. I'm like, holy shit, they're telling me to get the fuck away from the game. Like, I thought the game was awesome.
Yeah.
I really did.
I agree.
And then you had Otacon that would call you and say, or Snake, you've been at it a while. You sure you don't want to take a break? Like, all those little details that they throw into the games are just, they're phenomenal.
How many times have you used the word phenomenal?
Phenomenal. There's only one way to express Metal Gear Solid. It's phenomenal. I was actually talking to somebody yesterday about how I'm playing Metal Gear Solid 5, and they were like, yeah, I was thinking about playing that game, but I figured I'd actually play a game that's halfway decent. And I go, wow, wait for you to lower the bar. And he was just like, all right, I'm done. I can't even come back to that. I was like, wow, all right, so you want to lower the bar. That's how good of a gamer you are.
All right, 2011.
You just set the day and the time.
My favorite superhero got a sequel to one of my favorite games, which was cross-platformed, Batman Arkham City. Of all the games, literally, I love Arkham Asylum. I haven't finished Arkham Knight yet. We'll talk about that on a later date. But Arkham City, I played through that game more times than I can count. Just the story, the characters. Yes, you can be the Batman in this one. You can be more Batman in Arkham Knight, But just how good that game was. Way to take an original concept and just improve on the gameplay and just knock it out of the park. Like just how going from Asylum to City, through every character you get to play as Catwoman, the multiple characters, all the different cameos that show up.
The villains.
Yeah, the villains. Oh my god, the fucking 700 Riddler trophies, which I'm gonna kill people for. Just the stories of just how engrossed the story was from beginning to end, and how the Joker dies at the end.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I did not see that ending coming, and I was just like, literally, the game starts out. This is what I love. The game starts out. You get captured by Hugo Strange as Bruce Wayne, and literally it's just them talking. It fades to a white screen. A white screen comes up, and it just says in black letters, "Batman, Arkham City," and that's how the game starts. The game ends with Batman walking out of the theater holding Joker, putting him on the car, and then you just see him walking away, and the screen fades to a white screen again. Way to pull a full circle in a game and just literally wrap up one of the greatest rivalries in comic book history. Nerdgasm.
My number one.
And here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Is not surprisingly been on anybody's list.
Yeah, because we waited for you to mention it. That's why.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know what you're thinking of, Pete. If I knew what you were thinking, I would...
PlayStation All-Stars! My god, it had the fighting mechanics. It had everything you would want in a fighter. It could have contended with Smash. It could have contended with Smash.
Dude,
Oh,
the bullshit meter is off
You're
the
saying
chart.
this so often that people might actually start considering that you really think PlayStation All-Stars is a good game.
Uncharted 2
I would never want that
Nice.
reputation.
is my top one.
See, I told you, we were waiting for you to say that one.
Did you really think that?
No, not at all.
Nope.
Not at all.
You love the original. You love the third, Drake's Deception, which is also a very good game. I would say it would be something to not mention, but talk in passing. No, Uncharted 2, I mean, everything about that game. The story, the characters, the action, the set pieces. It put PlayStation on the map. The game was fantastic.
Fantastic.
He was going to say phenomenal, and he got mad at himself.
No, I was saying fantastic. But it just, the set pieces where you just go through all these actions, and just the great, I'm so excited for the collection just to play through it again in that high definition, and just to go from Uncharted 1 to 2, and that first scene just hanging from the train and having to climb up and things falling, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It by far left a lasting impression on me for the PlayStation 3. Like I said, I gave Uncharted, the first one, an 8.5 out of 10 for my score. Nathan Drake's Deception got a 9, but 10 across the board. Just the storytelling and everything about the Uncharted game. Definitely check out the collection when it comes out on October 9th, 10th, somewhere around there.
11th.
11th?
No, I'm kidding.
Somewhere around there. But, all right. This has been a very long video, and expect the next two to be fairly long, except for the week, because Nick Is.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Wii. And I don't care.
Alright.
Straight face. Thank you guys for watching our top 5 of the best PlayStation 3 games, in our opinion. And I promised you one little thing. So, I'm offering an open challenge to anybody who's playing the new NHL game. You need to find me and my team. We are under the Improv Gaming Savages.
Nice.
Look for our team name. We will kick some serious butt. So it's going to be on the new NHL 16.
I'm the enforcer.
Team name, Improv Gaming Savages. We'll see you guys there. And as always, until Wednesday,
Game
game on.